The King's Magic Drum. Once upon a time, in the great kingdom of Ufam, there lived a powerful and wealthy king named King Okenna. His land was vast, his people were prosperous, and his palace was adorned with gold and precious stones. But what made King Okenna truly famous was not his wealth or power, it was his magic drum. This drum was no ordinary drum. It had been gifted to the king by the spirits of the forest as a reward for his wisdom and kindness. Whenever the king beat the drum, a grand feast would magically appear, with the finest foods and sweetest fruits from every corner of the world. The people of Ufam never went hungry as long as the king had his drum. But with great gifts come great responsibilities. There was a condition attached to the magic drum. If the drum was beaten in greed or selfishness, it would bring not a feast, but disaster. For many years, King Okenna used the drum wisely, ensuring that all his people were well fed. But trouble was brewing, for not all hearts in the kingdom were pure. The jealous neighbor. In the neighboring kingdom of Wakanda, there lived a greedy and envious ruler, King Jabari. When he heard about the magic drum, jealousy burned within him. "Why should King Okenna have such a wonderful gift while I have nothing like it?" he grumbled. He made up his mind to steal the drum by any means necessary. King Jabari sent spies to learn more about the drum and discovered its secret. It would only bring a feast if beaten with a pure heart. But he did not believe in such things. Magic is magic, he thought. Once I have the drum, it will work for me too. So he devised a cunning plan. A clever trick. One day, King Jabari disguised himself as a wandering merchant and traveled to Ufam with rare and beautiful goods. He brought gold, silk, and dazzling gemstones to the palace. King Okenna, being a kind ruler, welcomed the merchant and admired his treasures. "O great king," the disguised Jabari said, "I have traveled across many lands, but I have never seen a ruler as wise and generous as you. I wish to make a special trade with you. I have a rare gemstone from the deepest caves of the earth, a stone that shines even in darkness." Curious, King Okenna examined the stone. It was indeed unlike any jewel he had ever seen. "What do you desire in return?" the king asked. The disguised Jabari smiled. "I seek only a simple trade, a small thing compared to this stone. Your famous drum." King Okenna hesitated. He did not want to part with his precious drum, but he was also an honorable king who valued fairness. Thinking it was just an ordinary drum to an outsider, he finally agreed and handed the drum over. Jabari could hardly contain his excitement. He quickly left the palace, laughing to himself. At last, the magic drum is mine, he thought. But he did not know that his greed would soon bring disaster. The drum's curse. When King Jabari reached his own kingdom, he wasted no time in calling his people to a grand feast. "Watch, my people. With this drum, we shall never be hungry again." He raised the drum high and beat it with all his might, expecting a feast fit for a king. But instead of food, dark storm clouds gathered overhead. Thunder roared, and a mighty wind swept through the kingdom. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and from the earth sprang giant swarms of locusts. The locusts devoured everything in sight: fields of crops, stores of grain, even the leaves on the trees. King Jabari screamed in horror as his people ran in fear. "Stop this!" he cried, beating the drum frantically. But the more he beat it, the worse things became. The magic drum had sensed his greed and punished him for it. The journey for redemption. Seeing his kingdom in ruins, King Jabari knew he had made a terrible mistake. He had to return the drum to its rightful owner and beg for forgiveness. With a heavy heart, he set out for Ufam, carrying the cursed drum. When he arrived at King Okenna's palace, he knelt before him. "Great king, I have wronged you. I was blinded by greed and stole your magic drum, thinking I could use it for my own gain. But instead it brought disaster upon my land. Please take it back and forgive me." King Okenna looked at the broken man before him. He could see the regret in his eyes. "Jabari," he said, "you have learned a hard lesson. Greed and selfishness bring ruin, while generosity and wisdom bring prosperity. Let this be a lesson to all rulers. King Okenna took back the magic drum and, with a gentle beat, restored his neighbor's land. The locusts vanished, the fields grew green again, and peace returned. A new beginning. From that day forward, King Jabari ruled with kindness and wisdom. He no longer envied others but instead worked hard to make his kingdom flourish. As for King Okenna, he continued to use the magic drum wisely, ensuring his people always had enough. But he also made sure the tale of the king's magic drum was told for generations, so that all would remember the lesson. Greed brings destruction, but a generous heart brings blessings. And so, the two kingdoms lived in peace, and the magic drum remained a symbol of wisdom and kindness forever.